So 3 separate news events caught my attention this week, and I wanted to talk about it. I don't really know if this is a vlog or not, but let's roll the intro anyway. Over the last couple of days, we've done some remodel in the office area, and we've retweaked our coffee shop, including some, green towels, because we're all about the color green here. So 3 separate news articles caught my attention this week relating to things that we do in our industry, and I thought it was very interesting, and I wanted to kind of share some perspective on it, maybe some thoughts on it, and why it's important, or why I think that it's important. So the first of the 3 were this one: police release photos of potential persons of interest in reported attack on the Empire Actor. If you're not familiar with this, I'm sure you can Google it and find out more information, but there was an attack and they were releasing photos to try to help identify the attackers. And this is the interesting part. This is the footage. These are the pictures that they've released in connection with these results, and they want you to help identify the individuals in this video or in these photos. How in the world are you supposed to identify this? It is so blurry and grainy. It's literally 2 objects that may not even be people. They're just grainy objects. The other story was something that happened locally here in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. And this particular story, the footage was released by the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department. And they're looking for a man in connection to a murder that happened to the owner of a cellular phone store. Now, this particular video is significantly clearer. You can identify the man, what he's wearing. Maybe not the best facial recognition, but you can kind of see a little bit what's going on here. He's wearing a hoodie to kind of cover his face. But again, the footage is significantly better than the initial story that got national recognition for the attack on the Empire Actor. So the third story was just released this morning as I'm recording this video, and this is an interesting story about a false insurance claim. So a gentleman is claiming that he slipped and fell on some ice that was left in a common area, and the video, which is very, very clear, you can clearly see that he actually takes ice out himself and pours it in the floor and then fakes the fall he's pouring ice right there on the floor. Then he throws the cup away and fakes the fall to try to claim injury. This particular footage is not security at all. This is liability. There you see him fake his fall. Liability of who's at fault here. And this video clearly identifies the man, clearly identifies his actions, clearly identifies that he poured the ice out and then faked a fall. Didn't even slip, faked the actual fall. And the whole part of this is that in each of these instances, there are 3 things that I wanted to point out that I think are very important when it comes to not security cameras, but surveillance cameras. Because surveillance cameras are what is covering this area here. First, clarity of image. Number 1 is clarity of image for identification. In the first story, there's no identification at all. 2 objects in what appears to be dark clothes from the back, like literally nothing. If you go back and look at all the images, this is actually a wider shot that they've cropped in, and there's just no good picture there. So number 1, clarity of image for identification. Number 2 is the access to this video, live and recorded. And this is very important because your cameras, and we've got cameras in our office here, there's cameras everywhere now. But the big thing is, how quickly can you gather the information? How quickly can you access it? How easily can you access it from a security standpoint, but from a convenience standpoint? Can you take your cell phone and grab the footage and see the footage live and recorded? A lot of times that we've seen in our industry is people know they have cameras and people assume that they're being recorded and people think that they can get access to it. But when it comes down to it, the ability to grab that information is very difficult or complex, or maybe the people that need to gain access to it don't have the ability to do it. They rely upon a third-party individual to do it, or they don't even know if it's recording or not. Access to your video is a #1 priority. If you don't have ease of access, if you can't navigate the software, if you can't navigate the interface to be able to watch your live video or your recorded video, you need to reassess where you're at with your footage, because it will cause problems in the future. #3 is shareability. In all three of these instances, one, with the attack on the Empire Actor, they wanted to capture this information and share it out with the public just as soon as possible to try to help identify who it was. In the second story, the Charlotte-Mecklenburg police are trying to utilize the public to help identify an individual and locate an individual so that they can talk to them in connection to a shooting. And #3, with the liability, it's I need to gather this information. I need to make sure it's valid and clear, because this is going to protect us against litigation. All three of those instances, you have to have shareability, the ability for someone to go in, grab the footage, it be clear and easily portable. We've run into situations before where you can't download the footage, it requires a special player, or you don't know how to share it, or it's a confusing process. You should have the ability to very easily watch the footage, save the footage, see it on your phone, see it on your device, see it on your computer, and share it through email, text message. All three of those things are important. Clarity of image for identification, the ease of access to video for live and recorded, and then shareability, how you can capture that footage and share it out. One of the things that I always stress when I talk about cameras with anybody is that it's not just security. You can use cameras for deterrent, you can use cameras for security, but you can use cameras to show a record of proof. This is what happened, or this is not what happened. And you need to have access to it all the time, live and recorded. When you're selecting the different products for cameras, there's millions and millions of different options out there. 3 things you need to be mindful of is clarity, access to your video, and shareability. How in the world can I get this information out of this system if I need to? Take those things into consideration when you're selecting your video partners. Have a great day.